Hi, my name is Brian. I'm the author of How to Write a White Paper in One Day. And in this video, I'm going to talk briefly about how to choose the best title for your white paper. Or in other words, picking a topic that's going to be really compelling. It's going to get people to read it. Now, the title of your white paper is really the most important part, because if that doesn't grab your audience, nothing else in there is going to work. It's not going to do its job. If you're watching this and you don't know what a white paper is, I have a video on what a white paper is. If you're wondering why you should be writing a white paper, if that's something that you should be doing as a business person, look at my video on why to write white papers. Okay, here we go. So when you're choosing a title for your white paper, it's kind of like your audience is standing in front of a whole rack of magazines. Okay, just imagine this. And they can only see the titles of all the magazines. And so they're going to skim along and they're going to find one that's interesting enough to pull out and look at. And that's kind of what you got to keep in mind. Don't think about what you know or the thing you want to sell. You got to think about what's going to be compelling for the reader. They're standing in front of all the content that they can look at, all the different white papers and things, and yours is going to be the one that they're going to want to pick it out and go, wow, or at least open it and take a look at it. Okay, there's a couple things you got to keep in mind as you're picking a title, and again, I've said it's got to be compelling. It's got to either play on their deepest fear, what's really worrying your target audience, when they wake up at 3 in the morning and can't get back to sleep, what do they worry about? Or something they really aspire to. What's this thing they would really like to have? It doesn't have to be a super major solution to a problem, but just something that they really want to find the answer to. They aspire to something good, and your white paper promises that. Okay, the second thing is the title and the topic of your white paper have to be somewhat enduring. You're going to go to a lot of work, and if it's just something that you've pulled out of a headline of the moment, it's kind of a hot topic right now, it's going to go away soon, it's probably not a good one to pick, because if you pick an enduring topic for the title, it's going to be something that's going to cause your white paper to be working for you for years. And I've seen this happen. You write one, and 4 years later, people are still wanting to read it because you've picked a topic that's enduring. And finally, in your title, what you promise to deliver in the white paper, it has to be doable, okay? So it needs to be something that you at least know something about, that's within your area of expertise. That's, after all, why you're writing the white paper. But also, every major assertion that you make as you write one, you're gonna need to back it up with authoritative sources that aren't you. And I mean things like, the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, scholarly journals, business magazines, books, other sources that make your point, because we just can't rely on your word. It's a report. And so again, if you've come up with this great, really compelling title, before you start working on that, go take a look and see if you can find sources that will back up the major points that you want to make. Okay, so coming up with the right idea for the title, it may just pop into your head while you're brushing your teeth, and that happens. But often what you have to do is kind of sit down and do a little bit of work, do some planning and some analyzing, and it's going to come to you. You may have a couple of them, and this will kind of help the best one filter to the top. So there's a couple ways to look at the problem that your white paper is going to solve for the reader. So a first thing to think about is the past. What are some problems that they've been problems in the past in your industry? They're kind of always have been problems, and it looks like they're probably always going to be problems and challenges into the future. So that would be a good thing for your title to deal with a topic that's in that. Another place to look is present concerns. There may be some new developments in your industry, and a white paper can really speak to some of the concerns, some of the aspirations of things that are happening right now. Again, if it's too trendy, if it's something that nobody's going to talk about next year, don't do it. But often, a lot of businesses are going through major change, and so if it's a present concern, it's really going to make someone want to download and read the paper. And in fact, hey, there's a topic right there. Probably the current changes that are happening in your industry. People aren't really sure what's going on. And then finally, the place to look is the future. Now, none of us know the future, but a great way to show your expertise is that you're sort of have this projection into what might happen. And this is kind of your theory. If things continue this way, things are going to end up like this. And so you can generally find a lot of published things on articles, people that are willing to look out a couple years. And so it's kind of like, well, we're doing fine now, but this is a future challenge. This is going to be a future problem. So again, as you're picking your title in the topic that's going to be the topic that you're going to cover, and then you're going to write that really compelling title, it's got to be something that really matters to the reader first. It's got to just get them to stop, grab that magazine out of the rack and want to read it. And then once you got them there, it gets easier as it rolls along and they start reading your white paper. If you need more help on this, I've got, the book I said, How to Write a White Paper in One Day. Go to Amazon and you can get it as a Kindle. We have it as a paperback now, and you can get it as an audiobook through Audible, which is also part of Amazon. And then for a little bit more in-depth, we have it as a video course on Udemy. And it's very reasonable, so you might want to take that if that would help you. Again, thank you for watching and good luck on those white papers.